Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Why does my camera look so blurry? It's probably dirty and I need to clean it. So if you're new, hi, welcome. It doesn't normally look like this. Um, Trigger warning on every video ever on my channel. Be right back. Life is messy, right? And sometimes the truth that we need to hear in order to be able to get out of the messy is something we're not ready to hear. So every video has a trigger warning with me. That said, I did get 2 songs. One of those is Counting Crows, I've Been Hanging Around. A really good song from the 90s. If you don't know it, go listen to it. Bruno Mars, Talking to the Moon, and it's 2 very specific songs on or parts on each one of the songs. So for the Counting Crows one, it's the part where he says, I've been hanging around this town on the corner, and then it replays, like looping over that, the part where he says, I've been bumming around this town for way too long. So what I get from that is I feel that there's someone who feels that it's time for a change in some way. They feel like they've been doing the same thing, and this could be you, because I feel like this is the collective energy. Now, if it's not you, flip it, reverse it, twist, however it resonates for you, you'll know. Because sometimes when we're watching a reading, even though the energy comes across as not the viewer, it can still resonate for you. But then the rest of the video, everything viewer does resonate. Does that make sense? Like the not viewer and outside energy resonates for this one part because there was something you needed from there. But then the entirety of the rest of the video, the viewer energy is the one that resonates for you. Maybe you're new to watching videos. If you are, welcome. Don't be afraid of if you go to any channel and there's any judgment on views on like the trigger subjects, then you might want to consider if you're still gonna, like, why are you watching that channel? Right? Because at the end of the day, your enemy isn't really your enemy. It is whoever is creating the hate, right? Where's the hate coming from? Where's the negativity coming from? Sometimes that's us and sometimes it's not. Okay, but somebody here feels like they've been tired of just doing the same thing over and over all the time, right? And there's something about the talking to the moon, because it's the part where he goes, I don't want to sing it, but I'm being told to sing it. You're facing your fears, okay? You're facing your fears because I'm being made to face my fears. And, or maybe this is something you need to do. I've been getting made to face my fears like crazy for the last two to 3 years now, probably a little bit more than that. My whole life. I've always been that person to like speak up when nobody else would. So maybe that's you, maybe that resonates with you, I don't know, right? Everything that comes up in a reading when you're channeling, everything is related. So just whatever hits, go with it. Sometimes readers are distracted from just reading like it's a lecture in school to giving you an experience for a reason. There's something that you need to hear from that as well. So everything has a point, right? Everything is, because everything is connected. So like when you're like, oh man, that sucks, I got, stuck at this red light. And bam, had you run the red light because you're thinking, I should have just, gunned it a little bit or whatever, bam, an accident happens in front of you, right? Like, that was divine protection. That was also divine redirection. It triggered you, but it served a purpose. It was to keep you safe from something greater than what happened. So even if something happens that you see as bad, don't just write it off as this is a bad thing that has happened. What is it making you look at? Why is it making you look at that? Follow the breadcrumbs, the story, Hansel and Gretel, was it? I don't know. There's some story where they threw breadcrumbs because they figured that they wouldn't get lost walking through the woods, right? These are two little kids walking through the woods, no map. I mean, you're talking like this is ages ago, before technology, before modern technology, before the world of the electric, right? So they decide, we'll leave a trail of breadcrumbs from the bread that we brought for like snacks or whatever. But then like a bird can go behind them and pick all those up, or a squirrel or a rabbit, any critter, ants will come and take it, right? But they're kids, so they don't know that. So treat yourself as you would a child, right? With everything that happens to you, because that just means that you just learned something. And that's beautiful, because that means that the fact that you were able to realize it instead of just be stuck in the energy, like whatever makes you feel, being stuck in any energy, even the good feely ones, especially the good feely ones, right, can make us really go off track from where we want to be, because it's preventing us. It's like blinders. You know how they say, like, when you're in love, you got love blinders on, like you can't see anything that person does? Well, think of a horse wearing the blinders as well. That's why they put them on them with the horse and carriage, because they're kind of skittish animals, right? They scare easily. Like if you've ever had a cat, you know some of them scare easy. You see a squirrel, they can scare easily. Bunnies scare easily, right? Because why? Because they know they're not the apex predator. That's why. So even the things though that scare you serve a purpose. Everything is just connecting. It's energies going in all these crazy patterns all around, and that includes your energy, right? Like you're a part of the grand pattern, the grand web of life, the threads of fate, as they say. It's all interwoven. Interwoven threads of fate mean that because your fate is connected to this person's fate, and this person's fate is connected to all this other stuff because of what they're connected to, like you're connected to all of that as well. Everything is connected. I don't know how to explain this. The depth, it's as deep as the ocean, as vast as space, right? Like as limitless and endless. There's no way to explain it. You just understand it. It's just a knowing. I can't explain a knowing. I don't know how to explain a knowing. It's just, maybe you're claircognizant. That is one of the traits of being claircognizant. You just know things. Like this whole time has just been channeled off of the beginning of the songs, and part of it is me procrastinating because I don't want to sing the part that they want me to sing. Trigger warning, if you don't like people with crappy voices singing, then this might trigger you. But I do as I told. I am obedient. Loyal to a fault. Maybe you are as well, and maybe that's what's hurting you. We'll see. We'll pull some cards in a minute here. I should not have had coffee, but it's yummy. It's my magic potion. Yes. It doesn't have the same effect when I put my tea in this mug. This is my coffee mug because coffee is the magic potion. And a cup, this cup, which I know is probably equivalent to 2 regular cups. Come at me, whatever. That's all I'll drink in a day, and I don't even do it every day. And if you do, good for you. Does it make you happy? Does it help you function? Maybe coffee relaxes you and it doesn't wire you up. It doesn't matter what anybody else around you says. That's their life, right? Even what they think about you, that's their life. That's their version of the crap. Yours is yours. Okay? Okay, for somebody here, you're you might be considering leaving a relationship. Because we have the I've been hanging around where you feel like something is too repetitive, and in the video, at the end of the video, he leaves. Like, he leaves the park bench that he's been sitting on throughout the whole video, and he gets on a bus going God knows where, you know? But he didn't care. And then the other song was Bruno Mars, Talking to the Moon, and of course the part that it is specific is talking to the moon. I could do the high part, but I think you'd probably hate it, so I'm not going to. Trying to get to you. I'm not, you know what, I'm going to do it because it doesn't sound right, and if you don't like it, then fuck it, you don't like it, but I love singing, so. Talking to the moon. Someone's at my door. Who's at my door? The only person in the house. Manny or Mark? Who is it? I hear the dog now, so maybe it's the dog. Or maybe someone was there and they're gone. Anyways, yeah, that part. And if I broke your eardrums, then I'm sorry, but I am done, like, trying to change any aspect of myself, to make anybody comfortable. Because one thing I noticed is the people closest to me, like, no, you were gonna accept me as I am. But everybody else in the world, it was like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. I'm so tired. Like, because so many people would just get triggered by just me, just being happy. Like, I literally was not even bothering anybody, and somebody was always bothered. It's like, what? And I've finally gotten to the point where, like, I'm trying to explain to you how you feel about your life. That's all that matters. Somebody else's opinion on anything about your life is literally just their perspective. It's how they see it because of the experiences that they have had and the person that they are at their core, which is completely different from you. Even if you have many, many similarities, you could be literal best friends and finish each other's sentences and look alike and dress alike. You're like twins. But you're still different. And you know that. And you know in which ways. Right? That's the beauty of it, though. That's the goal, is for all of us to find the place on this planet where we have the people around us that believe the things we believe, like the things that we like, you know, and also help us to grow in ways that we never expected. It's like, it's that positive environment within, you know. If you are looking to have an environment like what I just described, you have to have that internally first. As within, so without, right? You have to be willing to lose anything in your life. This is hard to say without getting emotional. We all have things we're working on, and this is one of mine. Yes, it deals with my mother, for those who know. And this is why it's something that I still am working on, and it's something that has blocked me from doing my readings, because I hadn't fully gotten to tell my mother about the spiritual journey I had been on. Damn it, I'm gonna learn how to edit videos today. Or maybe I'll just leave this in there, because life is raw, life is real, right? And life is messy, and it can look like this sometimes. And that is okay. You do not have to look like you have your shit together in front of everyone all the time. If you don't want to wear makeup today, don't wear makeup today. If you don't feel like brushing your hair, don't brush your hair. If you feel like staying in pajamas for the day today because you can, or maybe you I mean, you can anything, period. But if you don't have a job that has a dress code, then you can do whatever you want, right? Like if you're a stay-home mom and you're just like, you were up, whatever, or maybe not even that. Maybe you own your own business or whatever, but still you had to be up all night or whatever the reason, whatever you feel that you need at that moment in your life for you, that is what is important, okay? And for me, it was telling everyone around me, including strangers, like my deepest beliefs, a lot of times throughout my life, I found that those things I shared more with strangers, but the little like day-to-day quirks that make me who I am, I hid from the outside world, and it was like only my family that saw those things, right? Like, that's why all my friends would be like, oh, you're so silly, you're so crazy, you're so funny, like, or like, you're the mama bear, girl, you're crazy. I got that one a lot. But it was just because I told the truth. I've always told the truth, and that can be a burden. When you are raised with it ingrained in your head, like the truth shall set you free, you do unto others as you would have them do unto you, like that's a part of my core belief. And if you believe in as within so without, also you know that rule is true. Because if you can't literally look at everybody in your life and be yourself around them, acquaintances at work, random people on the street, your family members, your lover, your kids, if you can't be the real you around that entirety, like every person, every environment, you need to look within. Why is that? Why? For me, it was because I always felt like I wasn't good enough at home. Like I felt like I had to be more perfect. A B wasn't good enough. Well, why wasn't this an A? Stuff like that. And I know it's just because my mother wanted the best for me, right? And she didn't want me to suffer like she did and go through it. And I totally get it because I saw her and I could feel how it would hurt her. Right? If you are a true empath, then your whole life you have been this way. Your whole life you have known people by their intention, not what everybody else sees, right? You either see auras, or you, whatever your clair ability is, like if you're a clairaudient, you could be hearing your imaginary friend, right? Or your guardian angel, whatever your childhood mind adapted that to. For me, I knew it was God. So yeah, but sometimes it's different. And so sometimes I know when it's an angel. Yeah, and trigger warning, sometimes, yes, it is the Christ energy that I do speak to. And for some people, that's hard to believe because, well, yeah, if we ever have that discussion, then we have that discussion. But anyways, the reason why, okay, let me get back on track, please. In the process of you being honest with yourself about who you are, and that yes, this is important to you, and yes, this is like, I'm getting Beastie Boys, gotta fight for your right to party. Like if this is an aspect of yourself that you're willing to fight for because it makes you happy, it makes you whole, then you're gonna have to really stand by that. And that means you gotta be willing to lose anybody in your life. For me, the person I was most afraid to lose was my mother, right? But I'd always told my mother the truth. Everybody knew that. Maria would not shut up. Si es muda, revienta. That is what my mother used to always say. Si es muda, revienta. Which means if she were mute, she would explode. Like if I couldn't speak, if I were the speak no evil, if I suddenly became the speak no evil monkey, I would explode. And she's damn right, because you will know how I feel. And if I can't speak because I'm sick, I will write it down. Or I will muster up all my strength to put out a, you're too loud, shut up. Like if you're sick and you can't talk, I will find a way. And you need to do that for yourself. We all need to do that for ourselves. And I know that some people don't like to be told what to do, but ask yourself, who would you really rather be listening to? Whose opinion really matters to you? The war within. The war within. The war is within, right? This is the battle we fight, is in here. And you'll know by how you feel, right? How does that energy ground in when you acknowledge that? Anyways, okay, so the reason this was hard is because a long time back, a few years back, I made a promise to myself that I knew that all this time I had really been being honest with everybody about how I felt about things. Like I spoke my mind, I stood up for myself when I needed to, but I was never disrespectful. It was just like, what do you want me to say? Like, it is what it is. It is this, it is this. It is that because it is that. There's no other way. And so not sometimes, but a lot, there's always going to be somebody triggered. There's always going to be somebody triggered. You have to accept that. I feel like this is something hard for you to accept, is that people are going to be triggered. And I get it. I used to be the same way. I wanted so much for everyone to like me and for everyone to love me, because I was that little girl who wanted peace on earth, right? And goodwill to all man. Like, as I grew up and started learning things and started learning like how the world really is, that hurt. That hurt because I knew that wasn't the way. Because when we're born into this world, we're born pure. If somebody pushes us, yes, we push them back. But why? It's because we learn by experiencing, right? Now you just experienced how it felt when you maliciously and intentionally pushed me. I'd been telling you, I'd been explaining to you, but when you don't listen to other cues of somebody letting you know that something you're doing is uncomfortable for them and is a deal breaker, it's just going to build and build and build and build and build until, you keep sweeping the dust under the rug and it's going to build a bigger lump of dust until there's so much dust that the carpet doesn't even cover it anymore, right? Because sooner or later, everything comes out. Why is this important? Is something coming out? Have you been naughty? I feel like somebody here has been naughty. But anyways, hardest thing for me, I'm going to finish this damn story, even though my channeling is sending me all over the place. I had begun at an early age. I was always very interested in tarot. So like my mom caught me with one of those little booklets that used to be at like the checkout line that was about tarot or spells or something like that, something esoteric, right? And she gave me this whole spiel about how it was bad. But I was like, dude, I learned about tarot from you. You literally have a tarot deck hidden somewhere in your room that your friend gave you, because clearly your friend was into it and doing readings and all that stuff. And it clicked with you up to a certain level because you got a deck for yourself, or maybe they gave you one. I don't know. But it was still shunned. So this was one of the last things I wanted to tell my mother, but I did tell her when I started my Reiki training. I've taken Reiki 1 and Reiki 2, and the Reiki 1 class I've had from 2 different teachers. And so I told her that. And this was while she was living in Washington State on the other side of the country. Because I was like, well, at least I'll know if she's on the way because it's a long flight. So if she's going to come strangle me or beat my ass, I'll have warning because somebody in the family will tell me, hey, your mother's on the way. She's pissed off, right? Somebody always told me. I've always had warning. Even if it was like the last conversation where I was like, crap, I'm going to get it now. Right? Like, I just knew, right? Claircognizant. You just know. A strong energy is propelling you forward. Follow the stirrings in your heart. Advancement. Oh, this eclipse triggered you hard. Somebody here, you have been feeling different. You might feel like your body isn't your body or your mind isn't your mind because something was so heavily unlocked within you. Something was cleared away. Do you see the, like, how there's a doorway, but it's like, do you see how this kind of looks like the eclipse? But it's also like a portal, right? And here's this doorway. So there's some doorway, some choice you made around the time. Yeah, and that's why this story about me is relevant, because I was telling everyone around me for years, right? Because it took a while to really do this in all aspects. I was losing everyone around me. Friends, family members that grew distant from the distant that they already were. But also some that have grown closer. And you'll notice that, okay? As you go making these choices, and yes, some of them are going to be really hard, and they're going to hurt, and you're going to probably cry about them for a while, right? But that's life. Think about it. How many things do you still have that when you think about them that have happened to you, experiences, right? This is what we call lingering in the past. And I don't mean that to trigger you. Trust me, I don't. I know how beautifully comforting these places in the past can be, right? But sometimes they're what's holding us back. And sometimes not looking at those things from the past is what's holding us back. Because it's not allowing us to be fully honest with ourselves. And again, as within, so without. As within, so without. The mind and the heart create, right? And they are guided by that root area of your body, right? When you feel fear, you feel it in your gut. When you feel something's off, you feel it in your gut. When you get excited, you feel it in your gut. When you're shocked, you feel it in your gut. Yeah, sure, then after it like reverberates to everywhere and it can leave you like breathless. So we think it's the heart. No, yes, the heart chakra is indirectly affected, but no, it is in our gut. It is in those lower chakras that are so so easily unbalanced for so many, because we don't look at why we do things or why we didn't do something that we felt we should have done. inner world's at the bottom. Your external world is a reflection of your inner world. That's what I've been saying this whole time. It is, oh, listen to me, baby, honey, my love, you beautiful, energetic being that I feel right now. Hear this and know. You are meant to live a life that is indirectly created by you, but it's beautiful because of that, right? Everything from the way you leave your hair, right, to if you wear jewelry or not, if you get tattoos or not, if you wear stuff in your hair or you know, whatever, everything from the smells you like to the things that you like to do to move your body, right? Some of us love lifting weights and that feels so good. It's like, yes, I picked that shit up and then I set it back down. I didn't drop it, you know, like yeah, fully did that rep all the way through without having to slam anything around. Because you're like it's that full control over the mind, the body, and soul. Oh my gosh, are you going through an awakening? You could be going through a major awakening and you could feel very overstimulated. Things could be too loud, like maybe no matter you need to get out away from everything, away from everyone. I know that's not always easy, but listen, it's not like when I was younger, you guys. Like, you can take mental health days now. Kids can even take mental health days off from school, right? Because we have finally, as a society here, acknowledged that, yes, that is important. We're not doing a good enough job with it yet because now you have people influencing too far to one way. Like, as the people who work as therapists, as doctors, as psychiatrists, psychologists, anyone that works with the mind should not be inserting their opinion into someone else's situation. This is why it is so important for these medical professionals. And when maybe you're looking for one, look for one who is very by the book. Someone who isn't always seemingly trying to comfort you when you're in your sessions. Someone who isn't seemingly always combative to you. It needs to be someone that you feel comfortable with, that you also acknowledge they tell you the truth. Okay? That's my rant on that. Okay, Unikite. This was the last thing that I channeled. I need to go back to the Bruno Mars. I know there's something there that I'm missing, and I apologize. When I am in my feels, it is 33 on the timer when I said that. When I am in my feels, it is extremely intense for me. And when I'm feeling like someone else's energy, it's like, cool. So I was right, y'all. Like, I had a life coach, right? I am now a certified life coach. But I had a life coach who wanted to encourage really pushing yourself to do stuff that you're afraid to do. And like, I get it now. I understand why that's important. Oh, my hair's frizzing. But I knew, right? I knew I wasn't ready, but that whole like part of me that was always trying to make everyone happy was still in effect, with strangers. So I went and started my YouTube channel back before I was ready. So I was like really nervous for every reading. I was fearful of judgment that would come upon me from, you know, people who would watch, because you know how people on the internet are, keyboard warriors. They've been around since the dawn of the internet. I remember the welcome, you've got mail, and then the IMs popping up of people running their mouth, right? Keyboard warriors, they've been doing it since before pictures were even on the internet. Now we thought pictures would help stop that, but no, they just started using fake pictures. And then thank God we got catfish, and now people have learned, but still to this day people fall for it. And I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, if someone has the ability to send you like voice messages and send you gifts on your text messages and stuff like that, they can do a video call. Anybody now, anywhere in the world, except maybe the deepest depths of the Amazon forest and the deepest depths of the Congo, right? Like, or the bush, like out in the bush. Those places, Antarctica, like the most remote places. And even still then, we've seen that in extreme places on the planet, people still have these things available. So what I'm saying is there's no excuse anymore for anyone to be catfished by anyone. If you do, it is because somewhere deep down you wanted to. You wanted to let them catfish you because you wanted the attention or you wanted the connection. You know? Okay, so, but yes, Unakite. Beautiful, beautiful stone. If you are going through an awakening like I feel you are right now, those moments when you feel overwhelmed or when you are feeling lacking or depleted or underwhelmed, you know, the extremes, like the depression and then the overstimulation, in those moments, hold the Unakite, right? And here's why I say that. For me, it works. If you feel energy, what's that one? Clear cognizance is clear knowing. Which is the clear sentience? Is that the clear feeling? I don't know. Look it up, okay? If you feel things, like if you pick up, like maybe someone that you love passed away, and anytime you touch something of theirs, you feel real strong, like you feel their presence, right? That's what I'm talking about. So if that is how you are, whenever you touch anything, you feel something, this will help you, okay? It says, these are my notes, okay? I looked up online, and yes. So there's a stone of vision, opening of the third eye. Use a stone for scrying. It's also believed to be a stone of balance, grounding the self while bringing emotions and spirituality together. Associated with two chakras, the third eye and the heart chakra. It is thought to offer patience and balance to Capricorn and Scorpio. And for those wondering, I'm a Capricorn sun, and yes, it helps me. I also have Scorpio in my chart, and yes, it helps me. If it helps you, comment below so that anybody else looking to see for similarities, maybe look it up online, find some forums. Hey, has Unakite, U-N-A-K, U-N-A-K-I-T-E. Unakite. Did I spell it right? I don't know. Listen, guys, a long time ago, I learned the alphabet in sign language so that I could at least sign slowly. I know, thank you. that's pretty much it. I had learned other ones over time, but I don't really get to use them because I don't see my uncle that much, which makes me sad, but I love him. And I learned that just so that I could try to talk to him because I wanted to. And it makes me so sad that nobody else in our family learned sign language. Like, my mom had the book, but she was always so busy as a single mom, she didn't have time. She, you know, she would come home and she zoned out. She needed that escape to get by, you know? But it wasn't the healthiest way of getting by. It wasn't balanced. But thank God I know that, right? And I learned that because I learned from her example. So maybe you're learning from examples around you right now. Maybe you're realizing just how much the things that you feel and think about yourself and about the world, maybe you're realizing just how much it really is reflected around you. Why does this feel weird? Snap out of it. Oh, and I also wrote what I feel personally from the stone. So I put, I believe, I was that student. Yes, even in my papers in school, I wrote exactly what I felt. As a matter of fact, my senior year, we got to do a research report on whatever we wanted to, and I did mine about vampires. Yeah, you should have seen the looks that I got from people for that one. People were already calling me a witch just because I like to wear a choker and painted my nails black and wore eyeliner. Like, you know, okay. And yet if you know me, you know that I'm like, literally, like, the best description I can give you is Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls. Bubbles. I love all the animals, all day, every day. I just want everyone to be happy and be nice, you know, and when that doesn't happen and I blow my top. You ever seen an angry Bubbles in Powerpuff Girls? Go look that up. But I put, I believe it is the root chakra and heart chakra that the Unakite is associated with. Chakras 1 and 4. Because of this, it is also connected to the upper heart chakra. Okay? So it is my belief that the upper heart chakra, right, is what connects the root. It like anchors it in, because the heart and the root connected and the sacral is your voice, right? The heart and the root connected is that upper heart chakra. Okay? And this is just what I feel, okay? And so if you are whatever Claire it is that's feeling, or if you identify as an empath, why is that so triggering to you? You could very well be someone who's very anti-spirituality for some reason. That's really weird, but I'm feeling that from someone here. But you're noticing more and more just how connected you feel. Okay. Magnificence. You are amazing, magnificent, and unique, but most importantly, you are enough. Yes, 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 yes. You do not have to be anything other than you, and the world will love you. I can feel your energy, and I love it, and we're all unique and different, and that's okay. Think about how you see little girls and little boys, little kids just going up to each other, and they're just like, I like your toy car, or I like your hair, your bows are pretty, you know, like, or hi, do you want to play? You know, like, they're so beautiful and pure and innocent, and that's how we should still be. We deserve to be. You deserve to be that way. You deserve to be love, your purest version of love. loving yourself, loving the world, loving people, accepting people the way they are, acknowledging that not everyone is going to like you, acknowledging that whatever you need to acknowledge, whatever makes you feel like there's some fear there. Give me something. Ooh, I love this deck. I haven't used it in a while. Oracle of the Seven Energies. Because I let my spirit guides, my guardian angel, my higher self, whatever you call it, choose which deck I will be using. And I love this deck, but I haven't been called to it. Quieting the mind. Remember how I said overstimulated? And that could, you might have, and I hate to say this because I don't think ADD is a thing, and I don't think ADHD is a thing. I think that it is just symptoms that people display when they are forced into a life that does not suit their soul. Psychology world ain't ready for me, y'all. I feel and identify energy. They're not ready for that. Great and Full, Spirit of Gratitude. 2 gratitude cards in this deck, and you got them both on this split right now. I don't know why I saw a hummingbird when I turned it, but there's no hummingbird on there. But for someone very specific here, if you live where there are cardinals or a red bird, I feel like a bird is going to fly by you. Like, you're not going to see it. It's from whichever way it comes, like, you don't see, you just see like a red blur. And then you're like, but then you see it was a bird, and you're kind of like, oh, wow. Like, you're taken back by the experience. If that happens, comment below. I would love to hear that. That would be so cool, because I just saw that and it was pretty neat. But again, back to the gratitude, okay? And do you see the green and the pink? There's a lot of pink. That's that upper heart chakra. This is an awakening. But I feel like whatever you're going through, whatever chakras are being purified, I'm getting purified. So blockages, from purification, blockages are removed, right? I'm seeing like on the Legend of Zelda games, when you can't go further on a path, and it's because you got to burn cobwebs, or you like unlock something and this little wall of magic flame goes. I know I did that wrong, but I can't remember exactly what it sounds like. It's been a while. Anyways, I'm seeing like something like that. So whatever is removed is going to open the way in perfect harmony. Be grateful for that. Be grateful for the things that are falling away. You could be seeing 143, and that includes, if you look at the clock, and you're seeing 11:43, like 11:43 a.m., 11:43 p.m., right? You're seeing a phone number and the last 4 numbers are 1143, or it's whatever, any combination where you see that and it stands out. And if those who know that 143 was created during text messaging, where it was used to, because texting on beepers used to only be numbers, for those of you who don't know, right? And so there were different things, like there were ways to like enter numbers that when you looked at it upside down, it spelled like an actual word. And then the 143 meant I, 1 letter, love, 1, 2, 3, 4, L-O-V-E, you, 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 3. Okay. It's also a really good song. 1, 4, 3, I love you. 1, 4, 3, I love you. I love that song, clearly. That was my jam, as we say back in my day. I'm a poet and don't know it, y'all. Anyways, Unikai could be very helpful to you. If you maybe know someone, okay, for somebody here, you are an empath. You are learning that energies or you have learned that energies that you pick up on are not always yours, and you're learning how to separate that from yours, and you've realized that this overwhelm energy is coming from someone else around you. It is not your energy. Whenever you feel something, ask yourself, check in with your body, sit there and feel into your body, whatever you need to do, move, wiggle around a little bit, take a few deep breaths, and really when you let it out, right? Okay? And then ask yourself, is this my energy? If you still feel that overwhelm, yes, you're feeling overwhelmed in that moment. It'd be good to go outside and ground, get away from sound, tell everyone around you, say, guys, please, I need a minute. I'm not feeling so good. And go walk away from people. If you're at a party and it's at night, walk away from people, stay in the light, to be safe or whatever. Go walk where people can still see you, but just move a little further away to get some distance between your energy and theirs. So I'm talking at least 10 feet. For those of you who are super empaths, and I hate to categorize things, but there are different levels of what you can pick up on depending on your vibration. Wherever you are at, whatever your natural frequency is, it's different for everybody, right? That's how we make the symphony. Willing release, you're letting go of other people's energies willingly, because you're not ruminating on why am I feeling this? Why am I feeling? You're acknowledging this isn't my energy. Move at least 10 feet away. If you're super, super, super sensitive, sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes you've got to go 20 feet away, because your etheric field could extend 10 feet. And if there's someone involved who's feeling whatever they're feeling that's overwhelming you is 10 feet as well, then you need to be 20 feet away, 25 feet away. Give it a little bit of space. Save some room for the Holy Ghost, like they used to say, when you were dancing too close, they put their hand between you. Oh, I used to hate that. It's what's wrong with slow dancing with my boyfriend, who is the only boy you guys have ever seen me with? I used to hate that back in the day. Y'all don't even know these days the way you get to dance in school. Someone here is, you're younger, or maybe even if you're in your 20s, you guys still don't know. And even some of you in your 30s don't know, because it started shifting late 90s. Mid to late 90s was really when it started shifting, where people were just dancing and in ways that they just weren't listening anymore, and so the teachers kind of got tired of fighting with it and they just let people do it. So around then. But before, there used to be a lot of rules. You doing this, you acknowledging that this isn't my problem. And it could literally be just that. Maybe you don't realize that you pick up on other people's energies, but what you do is that if someone tells you a problem they have, you're immediately there trying to problem solve for everybody, right? But you are spread too thin, right? Like Bilbo said, I feel like butter spread over too much bread. There wasn't enough to go around, right? You're spread too thin. And when he said that, he seemed very exhausted. He was very... his mind was elsewhere, and it was because the power of the ring was consuming him, right? Slowly, over time, and it was building, and he knew what was happening. He still had the knowledge that he knew what was happening and could do something about it, whereas Gollum, Smeagol, he was too far gone. He had the ring for centuries, and it just completely destroyed him, right? So this could be letting go also of things that you were taught in your childhood that they're not true anymore. And even if they are true, you're saying, no, power move, bam. That's not for me. I don't want it. I don't care what anyone around me says. This is not for me. Checkmate. Right? Once you get in that energy, you find that resolve within yourself, checkmate. No one can overthrow that. Exposed and revealed. Yeah. You could be feeling exposed, or maybe somebody is threatening to expose you. Maybe they know something about you that you've been keeping secret. Ask yourself, why do you feel the need to keep that secret? Right? You need to be able to fully embrace who you are in the light and in the dark. Walk like an Egyptian. Boom. My daughter did Egyptian makeup today with school. She started school. She was so pretty. I know I'm biased, I know, but for real, y'all, she looked just like her dad, and he had that very exotic look. Like, he looked like he could be Egyptian. Like, if you pictured it, I used to picture him with eyeliner. Don't tell him I said that, he'd get mad. But I used to picture him with like guy liner and be like, oh yeah, totally Egyptian, love it, right? But she looks the same way, and so she did the girl version makeup, and it was so beautiful, and I was like, oh, I wish I had those brows. I tell her this all the time. She has his eyebrows. I'm like, I wish I had those brows. Mine are half blonde. See, this is me with zero makeup, and look, they're so half blonde that now the ones that were dirty blonde here are getting lighter blonde over time. And so it looks like there's no brow there, but there is here too. Like, if I show you my arms, I have so much arm hair. Can you even see that? But it's blonde. It's blonde. Like, it literally looks shiny when the light hits it outside. And it's because I used to be like golden blonde when I was little, and then I manifested brunette hair because I got picked on for my blonde hair. So anyways, yeah, you being you is so beautiful. It's so powerful. It's magnetic. But it's scary. Yes, it's scary. And you can feel shunned. You can feel rejected. But it is just because the things that were aligned with what you used to be aren't aligned with what you are and what you will be. Does that make sense? I'm feeling both of these. This one and the very, very bottom one here. Bloop. Oh, my nail's stopping it. Go. Okay, that's another thing, guys. I not only am I claircognizant, but the clear feeling, like I wasn't realizing before that I was just, because I was so scared, I was just like, shuffle, 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 just let them pop out, just let them pop out. But I wasn't really settling into myself and relaxing and acknowledging, like, I feel this card, I feel that card. Oh, I feel like I need to split this deck. Oh, I feel like I need to look at this one. Oh, split it a little more over here. You know, like, I wasn't really listening to that. And if you've watched any of my recent videos, you see I've been doing that. Whereas before, I was always just trying to, like, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And I'd be like, just 2 more shuffles or 1 more shuffle or whatever. Because I needed them to pop out. Because I needed them to be such strong confirmations for me. Right? 5751, but there's something about 515. Aw, I love you too, mommy. That was my mom, you guys. Yeah, she was born 1951. So yeah. Listen. There is something about you. Oh God. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. See, I am very emotional myself. See, maybe you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings either, but I feel like your inner child, which is your soul, your source code, your true energetic form, is suffering so much because you've boxed that energy into a frequency that it does not fit in. It is too magical to be contained. And you realize this, but you're still oppressing yourself in so many ways. And that's why I don't want to trigger you. I want to love you. I want to give you a hug because I feel like you're going through it. I feel like things around you, like you're having epiphanies left and right. Stuff is shocking you left and right. But believe that anything is possible, right? Think of how many stars there are out in our galaxy alone, right? How many planets and all that stuff in our galaxy alone. And then look at all the other galaxies there. Look at the vastness of the universe, right? And think of how many planets we found that are similar to other planets, right? Like they have similar features. There are planets like Earth with an oxygen environment all throughout the universe, right? How selfish of us would it be to assume that our planet is the only one with intelligent life? I mean, come on. And maybe you're okay. You are everything you believe is being questioned because there's something you need to see. And the more you ignore whatever it is that is being brought up as something being questioned, the more impactful it is going to be brought in as, again, like it's going to loop back in even stronger. Yeah. For those of you who are super sensitive, right? And that is in no way, shape, or form a bad thing. I love being as sensitive as I am because my bullshit meter is impeccable, okay? And I am 43 years old and I have learned that it is spot on, especially when I questioned it. Especially when I questioned it, or when I allowed myself to question it because of anything outside of me, right? That's for somebody. Willing release, and you've got to let that go, right? Transformation. This is, yeah. Oh, take a deep breath, honey. Take a deep breath. It is okay. Okay, I lost my mom, and I thought that there was no way that I could survive in a world where I didn't have someone that I loved and trusted and felt as loved and trusted as I did at the level with my mother, right? Because even though we fought a lot, I always told her the damn truth. I told her exactly how I felt, and she always told me exactly how she felt. And we literally went there sometimes when we didn't speak for like 6 months. That was the hardest period of my life. 6 months without talking to my mom was awful because all I kept thinking was like, I know that it wasn't my fault, right? Because she let her temper get the best of her in a conversation we were having, and she just couldn't be reasoned with. Everybody that knew my mother knows that she was very stubborn, and there were some ways where it would literally, trying to reason with her, you would have more success bashing your head against a brick wall, trying to break through the wall. You'd have more success trying to break through the brick wall by bashing your head into it than you would trying to help her see reason, okay? And I mean, I'm the same way about some things, right? Mirrors. We're all mirrors. But I had to be willing to acknowledge that when I told her that I was studying Reiki, that she might tell me that's the devil's work, that, oh, you're going to hell, or, whatever. But she didn't. She was very curious, and she listened to my explanation of it. And I told her, I was like, it's a lot like how the Bible talks about Jesus laying on hands. Right? It's just it's control over energy. It's the best way I can explain it. It's control over energy. And she didn't reject me. She didn't shame me. She consented to me sending her Reiki long distance. Unfortunately, when I got my decks and really started with all of that, I hadn't told her, but I also didn't hide it. Like, it was all over my Instagram and stuff, and she got notifications. She had an Instagram. She had Facebook, although I haven't used Facebook in like a decade. Only to go on and see pictures that my sister posts of the kids, because those are my babies too. And that's literally all I care about seeing on there. Literally do not care about anything. Well, I mean, yeah, my cousins too. I love them and I miss them, but it just makes me really depressed because, like, we should have never left PR. We should have stayed over there. At least that's how I feel about it. And I miss my family. So yeah, I'm not going to apologize for that one. I think that was her greatest mistake, was leaving the island. She went downhill very quickly after that. Okay. I know this will be hard to understand, but when you know, when it is made seen for you, it will be made seen for you. Earth Guide, your sacred calling upon this planet is to simply love and be loved. Okay? You are here. Sorry, I might have like egg under my nail. I had breakfast before coming on. But it's simply to love and be loved. That's it. We got 2 more here. Wow, I thought it was only 2, but it's 3. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. You are here to love and be loved, right? And anyone around you that tries to chastise you, crucify you, burn you for whatever, let them. Let them. Let karma sort it out. Okay? You know your intentions. You know where you're being truthful. You know where you're being honest. And you know where you're not. So however things happen, deep down you know the truth. Whether you know you should apologize, whether you know you should reach out, or you know that the thing for you right now is that you have to be strong and let that person go. I let my mother go for that time because that's what it took. And I called her back when I was ready because I knew she wouldn't call me back. But when I called her, I did tell her that I do not think that I should be the one calling. But I miss you, you're my mother, and I love you, and I don't want to fight anymore. We both cried. We both said, yeah, I love you too. A lot of sobbing and a lot of, I need you to understand that what I believe in firmly. And when I believe in something, I won't back down. And she's always known that about me. I've always been very independent. She would always tell everyone that I was always very independent. I always wanted to do everything by myself, right? And she finally accepted that and acknowledged that it's okay, right? And in acknowledging that you really do need to choose you, because sometimes we have a falling out with someone, right? And we're like, oh, I'm never going to talk to them again. I'm just done. I'm done. But over time, the more it comes up and the more you think about it, the more trash you take out, the more you clear the clutter, the war is within, right? The more you clear the clutter from here and here so that you can really feel what is being really truly brought in for you, being birthed, right? That Empress energy. That is loving and being loved. That is the Empress energy. Loving and being loved. She's there in nature. She's naked. She's laying on her bed. She's enjoying the sun. The water is flowing. The birds are singing, right? She's got this empire. There you can see the castle behind her, and she's heavily pregnant, which is a symbol of what? Of fertility, of abundance, of life, right? And for you, that could mean adventure and travel, or it could mean a little home out in the country where you raise chickens and goats and maybe have some cows and some horses. Like you've got your own little habit, your own little world, it's your own little heaven, your own little Garden of Eden, right? The universe has been gently nudging you forward by revealing to you signs and synchronicities. It's like I'm seeing the echo on sonar, where it's like ding, and it like echoes out, does that little ding, ding, like the signal. You've picked up on the signal. You know the way, right? You just now have to overcome the obstacles on the way to whatever that is. Reflect on this moment with love, kindness, and compassion. If something has pissed you off recently, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why you're issuing the judgment that you're issuing, right? Really, really open your heart to feel what it needs to feel. Open yourself up. Open your mind up to accepting what the heart is feeling, right? And allow the heart to have the heart allow the mind to analyze and strategize however it needs to, like tell you whatever story it needs to tell you, right? Because it's there to protect us. But always find where resonance lies, right? That alignment. We don't always know why people do what they do, right? You don't know what's going on in somebody's life. For all you know, they could have been absent from your life because of, mental health reasons, or maybe it was physical health reasons, or maybe it was just because, that's a mental health reason. Worthiness, like not feeling good enough, or being so sad about everything that you really got to just force yourself to get out of bed every day. And then even then you just look around and everything and you just feel apathy, like nothing feels like, nothing brings you passion, and you're just like, well, yeah, this is cool and all, but okay. Like you don't feel anything special. Somebody here, this is very specific, you're psychic and you don't want to accept it. You think it's woo-woo and stupid and is that really what you think? Or is that what the world around you has led you to believe? Wow, I'm getting Milli Vanilli. Ooh, 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 I love you. Girl, you know it's true. And, okay, we're being brought back to the song now. Okay. Somebody here, what you are most torn about, what has you feeling overwhelmed, is you want to end a relationship. And this could possibly be a marriage. Whatever relationship this is a very long-term, very powerful connection that was once the center of your world, or part of that center of your world. Like it just made up like the foundation. It was part of your foundation, right? Yeah. But now you want to go in a different direction. And I don't know if that's another person or if that is just because you just don't want to be with that person. And it's really hard to end a relationship when it is, it's easy to be the bad guy and be like, oh, well, they cheated with so-and-so, so they're gone. But when somebody comes and tells another person, I just don't want to be with you anymore. Oof. Like, everyone wants to know why, right? And of course you could tell them why, it's up to you. But you already know how they're going to react. So sometimes the best thing to do is just say, that it's just tell them, I can't explain it other than I can't see us being together anymore, being in this connection anymore, right? That part of the Bruno Mars song, talking to the moon, trying to get to you. There's something else you want. And for those of you that this isn't leaving a relationship, this is leaving a life behind. Like the way your life was, maybe where you would hang out has changed. The people you would be around has changed. Like, I'm seeing everything. Like, it's like going from like a country scenery to a city scenery, and then from that to like a tropical scenery of like, very like beachy vibes and whatever. It's just like it's full shift. It's a full shift, a full change of the energy. Exposed and revealed. This is either you realizing everything that you really do want to change and acknowledging that I've got to let this and this and this go, or this is exposing to you why you're afraid of whatever it is that you need to do. Or both. Divine Matrix, because it has to happen. Okay, remember we talked about the empaths. For those of you who are sensitives, somebody here, you could be wanting to move from the city to the country environment, to more rural area, simply because the energies are feeling overwhelming to you. Some of you are going to realize that you don't have to move because you're going to be able to harness the energy, and it's going to shift. Everything is going to shift to where it doesn't feel overwhelming anymore, that it's feeling this way right now because of this awakening that's happening. And then for other of you, this is probably like the super sensitives, you're probably just realizing that always being around so many people is what has had you in a state of not truly knowing what you're feeling, like where you're at on things. Burst of magic. Yeah. And that's being clarified for you because of this heart. This is a massive heart awakening. Like, maybe you're feeling flutters. Obviously, always check with your medical provider with anything. Like, I don't play with anything like my mother. Yeah. So I don't play with anything like that. Always get checked, make sure you're healthy. I get my blood work done every single year. Every year I have my my levels checked, hormone and like other, like whatever, the full panel. They do a full panel every year. And that is because it's always good to know, right? It's always good to know. And, Maybe for you, your whole family is always like, oh, well, you know this runs in our family, you know this runs in our family. And so it has you stressing about it, but you're like, why the heck am I stressed? Go get checked. Go get checked. And, you know, that will give you peace of mind. You do what you need to do to sink those roots into the earth, right? To really feel safe and secure in your own environment. Baby, healing the heart, right? Whatever you need to feel. If you listen, I don't care if you are the freaking sole provider for a family of 8 that runs a business and also does like a, you know, extracurricular stuff. Like maybe you also at the same time play a sport, or you do like dance classes or whatever. I don't care who you have to say no to. If you feel you need to say no to every effing body and put a finger on each hand up and take a day for yourself, or even just an hour, guess what, honey? Do it. I don't care if that means like that you are a doctor and you've got clients. Send them to a doctor you trust. If they really need to be seen and it's that important, they can go to be seen this day. You know, find if you have another doctor who's a friend, which obviously if you're a doctor, you have doctor friends. Ask someone, hey, I have a couple of patients who really is like really important. Can they come see you? Do you have any openings? Bam. Right? And if not, tell them, like, if it's really that important, go to the emergency room or go to the urgent care. Doctor's not in today, right? If you're a parent, I don't care how much those kids complain. Well, I want you to make this for dinner. No, I don't want that. I want to go play. I want to go to the park. And you don't feel like doing those things, don't do them. Right? If you feel that you're overwhelmed and you need to leave everything behind, you do what it takes. You do what it takes, and you put yourself where you need to be for that healing. And that is going to help you more than you realize. Okay? I get so passionate about this because I watched a mother who did not take care of herself my whole life. I saw her try. I saw her want to. I saw her really put effort, right? And still doubt that she was doing the right thing for herself. She would feel so guilty because she loved to dance so much, right? And she would feel guilty about leaving us at home for just a few hours to go dance. And we literally tried to tell her, me and my sister both, go, we want you to have fun, go play, go hang out with your friends. Like, we love doing that, you know, like we loved playing with our friends and hanging out. Why would we tell you that? Oh, you can't do that, Mom. Like, no, right? We understood. Maybe you're realizing also that there are people around you that you didn't think would be there for you that are there for you, and the ones that you thought would be there for you aren't there for you. And that's hard to go through as well. Yeah. Sometimes no matter how much we love someone, and always will, we have to acknowledge that they might not love us back. How do you know that? Look at the relationship. Do they ever just call you to say, hey, how you doing? Do they ever text you, hey, what's up? How's it going? Or is it only obligatory commitments? Anything else? Thank you. A merry motive. You have so much to celebrate. No matter who wants to walk out of your life, no matter what doesn't work for you anymore. Maybe you used to love playing an instrument and now you don't want to play that instrument anymore. Maybe you used to sing and now all you want to do is dance. Maybe you used to love soccer and now you're like, no, I just want to be a power lifter. You know, like, I'm just seeing like opposite ends of the spectrum. This is what life is about. It's about having fun. It's about exploring. It's the full facets of what life has to offer. Following your heart, following what you're called to. If you want to go to a masquerade ball, but you can't justify spending the money because you realize, you know, like, gosh, there's so many people that, you know, maybe I could donate this to some charity. Find a masquerade ball that's a charity event. And then find one that fits a charity that you would love to be part of. I'm sorry if I'm shaking the camera. I need a better setup. Find a way to tie in the things that you love together, okay? Like, you can't justify spending, I don't know, $100, $200 on a ticket to a masquerade. But if you spend that $200 on a masquerade ball that you would absolutely totally love to go to, and you know that 75% of that money or 50% of that money is going directly to this, which you would totally love to help that cause, then guess what? You're, you know, I hate to say this because some people will get triggered, but 2 birds, 1 stone, right? That just means that you're being resourceful, you know, you're and strategic. 7 of Swords isn't always about something sneaky. It's strategy. It is I hate to say doing you, but it's a way of doing you to where you're not hurting anyone around you. Do no harm, but take no shit. And that includes from yourself. Don't oppress yourself. Express yourself, don't repress yourself. Madonna. Human Nature. Freaking love that song. Thank God my sister loved it too, because, yeah, the fights we would get in over what music to listen to. Woo! Some of those. Hey, we needed a doctor in the house. I got the scars to prove it, y'all. I'm sure she does too. I know the door at my mother's house still does. Sorry, that was me. Yeah. Okay, so a merry motive. Key concepts. Knowing your own motives. Understanding, didn't I say you're clearing their energy out? You are clearing any energies out that are not yours. It could be stuff that you are literally just picking up on from the human collective around you, right? And if you're watching a lot of news, or if your feed on your Facebook, Twitter, whatever social app you're on, right? If your entire feed is stuff that makes you just feel mad, frustrated, helpless, you know, unfollow. You need to clear your energy, or just take a break. Take a break. I took a whole 1.5 year long break from my social media. Okay? Yeah. And it was beautiful. Okay, it was beautiful. I've even considered taking a break from my phone completely and just leaving it at the house. But then I worry about if I get a flat tire, if I get in a car accident, you know, whatever. They don't have payphones around anymore. If not, I would just carry the money for a freaking payphone. I guess I could always just ask random people, hey, can I use your phone? Hey, can I use your phone? But people look at you really weird when you talk to them these days. They really shouldn't. None of us should. Don't look at people weird if they talk to you out in public, okay? If someone randomly comes up to you in public, be nice, okay? See them as a little kid. I don't care if they're, that's really mean. Somebody here, this is your karma. I'm getting you reap what you sow. Someone here has been very judgy about certain aspects, certain different things. I'm getting like elitist energy, like better than you. Ooh, no. Yeah, exposed and revealed. I just feel like I'm going to piss somebody off with this reading. Understanding what drives you to meet your goals, the momentum of your attention creates the wisdom behind your intentions. You've chosen a path, you've set an intention, and you've begun to move toward a goal. You feel compelled to keep going, but do you know the why behind this drive? Do you truly want what you are pursuing, or are you chasing a destination with the anticipation of how it will make others feel about you, or about how it'll make you feel about yourself? Are you going to college because you really want to go to college, or because it's what everyone around you expects of you? You don't want to disappoint your family. You don't want to disappoint your friends or whatever. Are you going into the military because it's what your family expects of you? Are you going into the family business because that's what expected of you? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Are you helping your person with the dishes because you really want to help them, or because you think that if you help them you're going to get laid, or that they're going to do something for you in return, right? Like, that's not a reason to do anything for anybody. Like, do it because you want to do it out of the kindness of your own heart, right? Free will. Not because you're expecting something, because when we do things that way, and we do things because, oh, this is what they want me to do, or oh, this is what would society say, what would family say, what would friends say, oh my God, how will people view me, what would they say about me? Read between the lines. Ooh. F all that. Seriously. Trust the universe will provide the outcome that is a perfect match for your intention. It always does. When the heart is true, that's the royal you. This is coming into your power. This card talks, I'll read it, because somebody here is very skeptical. And why are you even watching me then? Like, are you watching for somebody else or something? I don't know, but shoot, if you're watching and you don't like me, stop watching. If I trigger you, then don't. Maybe I'm what you need to stop watching. Damn. Sovereignty, responsibility, self-confidence, self-rule, ownership of your feelings and actions, a quiet sense of empowerment, being self-aware, not allowing outside influences out of alignment with your truth. So again, not for you, like, where was that card? I exposed, and that's what's being exposed and revealed, but you're acknowledging that it is what it is. And I'm trying to find that card, but I didn't pull it out. Dang it. You're acknowledging what it is that you feel, what it is that you want, right? And I feel like you're surrounded by shadows and flame. This is like, there could be a lot of rage, a lot of anger, a lot of resentment, because you don't hate me. You've done so much because of what other people might think or say, or what might be expected of you, for the wrong reasons. You've done too much for the wrong reasons. You've hurt your own heart so much that you acknowledge that you are the reason why your traumas are growing instead of healing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know that. But you don't realize how powerful that is, right? You don't realize this way. Yes. I have to think of it how you would see it. Like, it's so powerful to be your true self. Like, you know how you see like some people and you'll be out with a group of family or a group of friends or whatever, or you'll just be out and you'll see people looking at someone who's different for whatever reason, and you hear the remarks that they make. maybe you're afraid of that being you, right? But why do you give a what they think about you? You have to live with you in here. You have to live with you in here. You. Shot through the heart and you're too vain, darling. You give love a bad name. And you play the game. You give love a bad name. Sometimes the reason we don't believe in things like love and magic and hope is, gosh, I just feel like I'm going to piss somebody off. That's why I keep hesitating. It's because you're blocking yourself. It is because you're blocking yourself. It's because you, for whatever reason, there are things that are so brutally being exposed and revealed right now that are things that you don't want to deal with. You don't want to deal with these things. And whether you've been vocal about them or not, you know, right? If you have been and it's still there, you know what you got to do. If you haven't said anything, and obviously it's still there, then you know what you got to do, right? Whatever your situation is, how your energy is following this same path that gets to the same self-awareness and understanding and acknowledging and choosing me, because I know that this is what's best for me. It might not be right for you, but it's right for me. Y'all, I left home when I was 18 years old. I did not finish high school. Well, I did finish high school, but I did not finish it the way my mother thought I would finish it, right? I left home for my own reasons. I had been SA'd at school. Not R, not the R word, but I was groped, okay? And I took it to court, and after the judge had, and I have so many witnesses, everyone that was there, including my first sergeant and my colonel from my JROTC class, they were both there. Those were my daddies in high school. They, and the principal, what was his name? Hagen? Was it Hagen, his last name? I don't know. Love them all. Bless them very much. After the judge had found this guy guilty, right? And he was starting to say what, he was going to say what the sentencing. Yes, that part. His mom makes a big show, starts yelling at the top of her lungs, "Oh, Your Honor. Oh, no, please, Your Honor. Oh, he's only 16. He had no idea what he was doing, Your Honor." This is the same guy that many of us saw using their hands on a female at a gathering of the JRTC group, and who was actually having coitus in the middle of one of our dances with a girl in a corner, and multiple people saw it, right? So he knew better. This guy totally knew better. He walked around doing this to all sorts of people, but I was not the one. And he found that out. Found out that my threats weren't empty, that if he ever touched me, he was going to see what I was going to do. Right? But after all of that, then the judge decided he was going to change it and just tell him to stay away from me in school. Well, he didn't. He continued to follow me, continued to have, look at me and be like, And every time we walked by, he was always in a group, right? And I didn't feel safe. My mother didn't believe me because my resolution was, hey, your best friend is like a mom to me. I love her. And I wouldn't be alone at the school. Her son would be there. Granted, yeah, we dated, but it was over. And if you break up with me, because you want to see what girls come to your school this new school year, do not even bother coming back. Do not even bother coming back. Yeah, no. So I told her straight up, she didn't have to worry about that. And she didn't, because, long story short, I left home because of that, because of not feeling safe. I hurt my mother in the process very, very much. But what I wrote in my letter to her, which is what I was getting to, what I wrote in my letter to her was, I have to do what's right for me, right? And it was something that I was actually inspired by a song, Sarah McLachlan, Elsewhere, where she goes, "Mother, can't you see I've got to live my life the way I feel is right for me? It might not be right for you, but it's right for me." And I wrote that to my mother, and I explained to her, I tried explaining because I knew how she was going to react. And I told her, I don't feel safe. I cannot be in this school. I love you. I do. This isn't about you, but this is my life. And at some point, I have to start living it. I'm 18 now. I have to start making my own choices. She never let me make any choices. So if this is you, if you are in a situation where you haven't been allowed to make choices, or maybe you've made choices, but the reason you've made them this whole time, you're now realizing like you're not happy. Like you did always, I feel like you're someone who's always done what's expected of you. And now it's like coming back to bite you in the ass. And I'm not trying to trigger you or make you mad. Like my heart goes out to you because I've been there. But you cannot live that way. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel apathetic, unmotivated. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel pissed off, frustrated, enraged. You're going to disassociate. There's just, oh, honey, no. At some point, you've got to, these boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. You have to choose you. And it doesn't matter who you have to stomp on in the process to stand up for your right to live your life. I've had to stand up to everybody in my life, literally. My mother, my sister, my aunts at different points in time, because my mom was telling them one story and what had actually happened was another, you know, and they knew, because they knew my mother. When I told them, they knew me from a little wee child. And they knew when I was telling lies. They knew because I suck at lying. Let's just be honest, okay? And so they knew, and they'd be like, "What? She left that part out of the story." And I was like, yeah, I bet she did. There's a little bird on the side of my chimney. They love to come eat the little bugs. That's why I don't care, because circle of life literally goes on my window here. Spiders come, birds come and eat the spiders. And then the spiders eat the bugs. I'm helping everyone. And then the lizard comes around as well. The little lizard family that is on there every day. We did have a snake too. That one, I know it was just a grass snake, but I did not know that they could climb chimneys, y'all. And I was sitting there just relaxing, and then I just see it, and I'm like, and then I realized it's just a grass snake, and I calmed down. So maybe something getting exposed and revealed is really going to be shot through the heart. Yeah, it's going to be hurtful to you. But it is actually, it's happening for you. Be grateful for this happening, the exposure, right? The exposure that shows you what was indirectly hurting your heart. Someone, I feel like it's something that you had around you, like it could be something you used to do, or maybe someone you were friends with or family with or whatever, something, it was a close connection that was in your life, that was there. Don't get mad. It was there because you thought that it brought this into your life, this, that, or the other. So maybe you thought that this is why this relationship with this person is so good, and now it's being exposed that maybe they were on, maybe somebody was only accepting you because there was something they were expecting. Like, maybe you always bailed them out of jam, or maybe you were always there for them, right? You were always there for them. They were never there for you. And you realize that the less you communicated, the less communication there was, and you had to grow comfortable with that. And then you completely stop because you're like, well, what's the point? What am I holding on for? What am I going here for and giving attention to this connection when it's like the moment I leave, that's it. You don't know, you forget all about me until your next birthday or until your until our anniversary and you want to get late or whatever, or until whatever. Like, this person doesn't pay attention to you, doesn't prioritize you unless there's something in it for them. And that hurts, right? But you got to be willing to let that go, right? And celebrate the fact that you've been given clarity and truth. Right? Like, what you knew in your gut, what you suspected is true. This is something that you have suspected, and it's being revealed because you chose to take the path of, well, I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do, or I'm going to be who I want to be. I love these. They're so cute. It's so cute. It's pretty. I like these better than headbands because headbands always dig in behind the ear and they hurt and it's so uncomfortable. I don't like it. Ugh, I don't like it at all. Into the unknown. Exploring the depths of yourself, bearing fruit. Like, it's paying off. You having looked at your shadows, right? Crossing that dark sea in this little boat. Like, you see this little boat and it's crossed across the depths of the ocean, right? And you've done this journey alone. This bird is alone on this boat, right? With just its little lantern. But look at all the little stars around. Seahorses could be significant to someone. And eagles. Eagle or hawk? Eagle, hawk. Eagle or hawk? I kept getting them both and I'm like, which one? And it kept being both. We need a symbol for, I guess you could just repeat it. Yeah, okay. But yeah, that investing in yourself, investing in trying to heal. This could literally be, maybe you started therapy and what you were hearing in therapy really pissed you off. And so maybe you stopped going, but now you're realizing that everything that was brought up in your sessions or whatever was relevant, and you're seeing how it was relevant. And they might not have been 100% accurate with what they said to you, but it's because you weren't 100% accurate with the information you gave. You're like sorting it out on your own. You sailed those seas on your own. And in that, you've reached a place of stillness within, with yourself, of acknowledging, yep, this is me. Yep. This is what I think. This is how I feel. This is what I know. It is what it is. Shining through. That truth has a very unique frequency, right? And when you stand in your truth, it is like this, shining through. It's like that. See a burst of light coming out of that. That's what it's like, okay? It's like when a flower first blooms, right? Like when you see it blooming and it's in that perfect full bloom. That's that moment of shining through. So you are in full bloom. Don't let anything around you to have deep breath. Last reading I posted for the week ahead, be calm instead. You may want to watch that one. It's a shorter reading than this one. This is one of those readings, y'all. It is what it is. We dig deep here. Deep breaths. Meditation can be important for you right now. And I do feel, again, like I said, at least 20 feet away. And I don't care. You don't have to be mean, right? Like, say you've got little kids and you need a break. Baby, Mommy has a lot in her head right now, or daddy, or auntie, or grandma, whatever it is for you, because we all deal with all sorts of different situations, right? But if you're dealing with like little kids, and even if you're dealing with grown-ups, treat them the way you would a sweet, adorable, innocent kid who just loves you and just wants to spend time with you, especially if they can ever get any time alone with you, away from the other adults or away from the other kids. Like, of course they're gonna run at that chance. And they might do that when you need to be away from everything most. Just tell them, you are the first person I will come and get after I spend my time here, okay? I need to work through some things right now, but I promise you that the moment that I do, I will come back and I will spend some time with you. Just me and you, okay? And then you let everyone around you know, it's just me and them right now. I don't care if you're the auntie. You tell mama and papa, no, this is our time. Go. We'll join you in a little bit. Go. You have a right to spend time with them too, okay? Final words. Don't be afraid to, Yeah. Do not be afraid to burst out of any cage, any box that anyone tries to put you in. Because how dare they? How dare anyone try to put anybody in a box? You don't know what's going on in here and in here, right? And then, we all process things differently. Don't let anyone tell you that, like, I used to think it was bad, right? Let's give the parent example here, right? I used to think that if I went out, same thing, because I saw my mother, right? How she said, oh, but, a mother's place is, taking care of the kids, But when you're a single mom and you don't have a dad, so you can't take a mom day and just go shopping by yourself, or, or take a mom's night out and go wine and dine yourself and enjoy eating something other than chicken nuggets and french fries, or whatever your kids usually eat, peanut butter and jelly from Panera, and, whatever it may be, to have the mom meal without any criticism from anyone, have a glass of wine, take an Uber or a taxi, have somebody else take you, or take the car if you want, take the car. But if they need it at home, then you might want to consider leaving it and you take a cab, okay? Whatever it is, like, don't be afraid to do that. I used to think it was so bad and I was miserable, right? And then I started doing things like just being honest with my kids and saying, listen, I'm a little overwhelmed today. Are you guys okay with going and playing your video games in the room instead of, all three together on the Wii? And they would like split up between the Switch, and then not the Switch, but they would like take it and connect it to, they went their own way, right? And before it was even that, it was them just playing with their toys in their room. Or I would ask them, guys, I really, really need a little break. Can you guys go play outside right now? Just go play outside for like an hour or two, please. And they would go, right? They could still text me or call me or whatever. Before they had their cell phones, I had walkie-talkies. And whenever they would go outside to play, I would turn it on. They knew if they wanted to go out and play, they knew. They would bring me the walkie-talkie wherever I was throughout the house, and they would have theirs. We'd turn them on, make sure we're on the same channel. You hear me? Over. Got you. Over. Right? And that's it. They'd go. You have to make sure that you prioritize stabilizing yourself. Whether that means you need quiet time, or that means you need party time, or that means you need to go to a rage room, or if that means whatever it is to you, whatever pops in your head, whatever pops in your head and your heart and lights you up, Yes, oh man, I could really go for a cheeseburger right now, but like my family is vegetarian. Go have your damn burger. Go eat your burger. Okay? Or maybe, I don't know. Listen, y'all, there's too many examples. We could be here all day. Okay? Into me, I see. Open to discovery. Yeah, be open to like what it is that you want to go do as well, right? Maybe you've never been to a poetry house and you never thought you'd be interested in that, but you do love poetry, and so now you're like, well, I do need to be more social. Maybe that would be cool. So you go. They have different poetry books that you can read, you know, while you're there. Or you could take one that you've checked out from the library or that you bought or, you know, someone gifted to you, and you could go there and read it. And you could get a smoothie or a tea or a coffee or whatever, because those places always have little snacks and drinks, right? This is just about being open to that, to the discovery and to exploration. Maybe you don't want to be indoors. Okay, grab whatever you want to do and go outside. If you want to have a coffee, have it while you're walking through a park or down on the beach or you know, whatever, you know. It's about you. yeah, fill your own cup right now. And again, the hummingbird, look up what hummingbirds, the spiritual significance or spiritual meaning of hummingbirds, because for somebody there's something there. I keep getting the hummingbird. I love hummingbirds. Feed them every year. I'd never buy the stuff because the red dye is so toxic and bad for them, and I never buy the pre-made stuff either. It's super easy to make it. You take 4 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, I believe it is. I don't know, the recipe's online. Look it up for homemade hummingbird nectar. And you boil it, and then you let it cool, and then you put it in your thing, in the little feeder. But depending on your temperatures outside, you have to like replace it because it can actually turn toxic and kill them. So please don't do that. I love hummingbirds. Be careful with that. In the heat, it can only stay out sometimes for a day before you've got to swap it if it gets too hot. So please, please, please. Be in harmony with the environment around you, okay? The nature helps make that very easy, right? There are some people who, when they're out in nature where everything's quiet, where they're very uncomfortable with that, but that's because you haven't learned how to sit with yourself. And you need to learn to sit with yourself and figure out why you're so uncomfortable with yourself. And that's usually going to be because you're not being authentic. Yeah, a tall tale. Because you've been lying to yourself. And being isolated is forcing you to see how you've been lying to yourself. This message was a little rough, but I kept pulling and kept talking because I really hope you see that I'm not trying to, oh baby, sacred reverence. I love you because I feel your energy, and I know we are all connected in this beautiful web of life. And, you know, if that sounds woo-woo to you, remember to be open to discovery, open to truth, open to maybe what I think isn't true. Maybe there is something to X, Y, and Z, right? Maybe this person isn't avoiding me. Maybe I've just been neglecting them. Pay attention to the weird things that happen. Yeah, I just got a lot of funny things were happening there. This from the Hocus Pocus movie, where they said why they closed down the shop that was in the house, the gift shop that was in the Sanderson sisters' old house, because a lot of spooky things were happening there. So you could be having supernatural encounters at this time. That is spirit connecting to you. Again, I said somebody here is psychic and you're in denial about it, but that's just the mind. Something traumatic could have happened to you as a child before you even had long-term memory fully locked in, which I believe is, I don't know, my earliest memory, I think I was like 2 or 3 years old. So before that, right? Like something traumatic could have happened to you. Like I fully accepted that my traumatic thing that happened to me that like triggered my awakening was when I was born. I was premature. And I was recently told by my aunt that apparently I had some sort of heart thing going on. My mom had only ever told me that my lungs weren't fully developed. All I know is I had tubes for breathing and monitors all over me when I was born, and I was in an incubator. I was in the NICU. They had to air evac me from Fort Huachuca to Phoenix, right? So yeah, a higher view. You've got to understand that sometimes the traumas that we have, we don't even know where they come from because it's stuff that happened to us before that was, I don't know, and that's very unfortunate, you know. Not everyone is blessed with coming into the world unscathed. None of us go through life unscathed from experiences that change us, but not all of us get away with coming in unscathed, you know, coming into a happy, healthy home environment, being born, you know, healthy and whole, you know, like it just, but you've got to look at why do I really feel this way about this? Why do I really feel this way about that? What are you lying to yourself about? Yeah, you are the puppet master, right? You're the puppeteer. You have created this like you're basically, it's like you're the puppeteer. You know, the puppeteer does the voice and moves the puppet, right? And first they have to create the puppet. So you've created this puppet that you're going through life as. Oh, no, we don't speak on this because this is how everybody sees me, so we can't speak on this and tell the truth of what we really think about this because, oh no, right? Or, oh, I've gotta keep doing sports because that's what my family wants from me, or I've gotta go study law because that's what my family wants from me. Like, whatever it is that you're puppeteering yourself as, like, I need to keep doing this job because this is what I claim to always want to do. But now 30, 40 years into doing this career, all of a sudden, it no longer fulfills me. I no longer have any attraction to it whatsoever. And I want to go sell doilies that I make myself, you know, or I want to whatever, like literally whatever, maybe I want to be I want to make jewelry out of sand, you know, like the most random, outlandish, impossible thing you can think of, like Alice in Wonderland, which her father used to have her say, was it 3 or 7 different things every morning, impossible things, before breakfast. She had to come up with X amount of impossible things every morning before breakfast. So, dare to believe, okay? Believe in the endless possibilities. Believe. Do you have any idea how powerful it is to choose to believe I can change? I can be successful at whatever I choose. Maybe no one in your family has ever gone to college successfully, right? But you know you can. You know you can do it. It's very important for you to look at the tall tales we tell ourselves. That's where you're at. You're at this land in between where it's become very obvious to you where you clash with everyone in your life, from acquaintances to employees to family to your partner to your best friend, right? Like everybody, your cousins, uncles, everybody. And you've acknowledged what parts of you aren't true to you that you want to be true to you with. And you've acknowledged that in doing those things for yourself, it will have these ripple effects, some positive, some negative, right? But you're also acknowledging, this is super again, this is why I said awakening, because it is fully self-aware energy where it is what it is. If you need to file for divorce because you know that you're not happy and you know that they're not happy and you love them, you do, and you want them to be happy, but you know that their happiness does not lie with you because of X, Y, and Z, and your happiness doesn't lie with them because of A, B, and C, that's okay. You are actually doing them a beautiful favor by setting them free so that they can find their true mate that is in full energetic alignment with them, right? Even though you know they're going to be hurt, you fully know and believe that they will find the right person for them, who will be everything that they want them to be, right? Without having to even ask for it. And that's a beautiful thing. And you know that in letting them go and allowing them to be free, you are allowing yourself to be free. You're allowing yourself to receive the same thing. That's another way of do no harm but take no you know? I could sit here and talk to you for hours. I just feel like you need it. Maybe you need to, maybe you need to talk to someone. Strangers are great for that, you know. Strangers are great for that. Strangers are excellent for conversation about things that you can't, for whatever reason, you can't talk to anyone else about. Into me I see, and then the uncharted sea. If there are strangers are just great for that. And don't, again, I mentioned earlier in the reading something about if somebody randomly approaches you and starts talking to you, don't shoo them away. There's something to that. I feel like someone here is going to be approached by someone that is going to be like one of these for you, but have grace. And then that grateful, both of those gratitude cards, right, came out together at that one moment. So take a deep breath. When that happens, take a deep breath, quiet your mind, and be open to what you might discover by keeping your mind open and allowing people in, allowing close encounters to happen. But at the same time, like you're where you're speaking your truth, right? So if they make you uncomfortable, you can just tell them, I'm sorry, that makes me uncomfortable. Please just leave me alone. You have every right to say that. You have every right to say that. Okay? Don't worry about hurting someone's feelings. How they react tells you everything you need to know about them. And I'm pretty sure it's just going to confirm what you already knew. And to some of you, that lesser than entity that is going to approach you is going to blow you away by the things that they say. And it is going to send you into the deepest, darkest depths of your shadows. It is going to give you a bird's eye view of everything that you have refused to look at. And it is going to be beautiful, because it is going to be unexpected. It is going to be coming from somebody who has absolutely no reason to come at you. It's a fully grounded energy. It's magic, that burst of magic that kept coming out as well. It's a tower moment, but it's a beautiful tower moment. Yeah, because it gives you a higher point of view of things. Again, I said that. Didn't I say the higher? I said it. I'm taking it out because I said it when I was looking at these two cards. I talked about how it's going to give you a higher point of view, a better perspective on the situation or whatever I said. I don't remember exactly what I said. It's okay. And it could be happening to show you that, yeah, your fears are illusions, right? This could be going out and really speaking your truth about whatever somebody talks to you about just because they're like a random stranger, right? And then it's like they don't like react the way that you expect that they would react. And you realize the more interactions you have with random people, you're starting to realize like it was all just smoke and mirrors, right? Like it was illusions. It was illusions because you weren't grounded. You were in your head, the battle within. You were having that battle within. You were so conflicted within yourself that you are afraid to let anyone in. Like you put yourself in the cage, right? You put yourself in the cage and didn't let anyone close to you. But now you're opening that. You're open. You're going to become open to really discovering what the world has to offer to you when I'm hearing, don't bite your tongue. Beautiful uncaging. When you set your heart free, you're setting yourself free. What card is this? You're silencing the mind, and do you see how this figure is like they're holding themselves, and you see all the like magic and energy, all that coming in and bursting out. It's sending out the ripples of what you're truly seeking, and the illusions will be removed from your life. And sometimes that means people walking away, and sometimes that means choosing to walk away from people. Yeah, roots of abundance and seeing beyond, because you're going to see how it's going to be made clear to you how the choices, the path you've walked so far, it's clearly showing you how you've gotten to where you are versus where you want to be. And you can clearly see now exactly which way you need to go to find land, right? To not be stuck in that sea of emotions where the mind and the heart are just battling because you're feeling so much, but it's almost like you're not allowing yourself to feel things because of outside influences. But yeah, but you're on point with whatever, something that you're doing is so on point that everything's going to be, bearing fruit. Whichever path you take doesn't matter when your intention is true. I've said this before. Top one or bottom one? Top and middle. Okay. Top first. You've chosen to be happy that you know who you are. Happy that you know what you truly believe. and that, the Call of the Muse card, being grateful for knowing who you are will inspire you to change your life in a multitude of ways, right? And it will inspire you to be creative in the things that call to you. Maybe you've been a poet, but now you want to be a musician because you really like what you write, but you want to put it to music, right? Maybe you don't sing, but you know someone who does, and so you love their voice. So maybe you're like, hey, I might have a cool song for you, right? Like, you're the writer and clearly part producer or whatever it would be for that. But it's like you're being grateful for the parts of you, for like how you shine, and allowing the way others around you shine to inspire you instead of trigger you. It's like it's almost like, it almost feels like yeah, like, again, the person, like, you know, seeing how like people react to people who are different, weird, or unique, right? And the things that they say about them. But that doesn't mean that that person is that way. You could talk to that weird, strange, quirky, slobby, messy, whatever person, right? And you could really see that they were just amazing. They're amazing. It's just the expression of them is just different. Don't judge a book by its cover. I want to wrap this up. Being called to this one with the star here. Blue star. Follow the light of your inner compass, the blue star. It will lead you to the truth that resides within your soul. If you've been watching my channel, you know that I always say that the heart is the compass to the soul's map. What does that mean? The heart is the way to learning who you really are. What is your truth? And if you want to envision that, like, visualize it as a blue star, right? Or a blue glowing compass. Do that. However you are called, right? Whatever shines through to you, however you are called to visualize that light of what you, that energy, that frequency of what you really feel, what you really believe. Wisdom. See your adversaries as opportunities to expand your spiritual light. And again, I kept picking up on somebody being triggered, and on somebody being triggered by spirituality. Maybe you've decided to take a more spiritual path with your profession or your life, whatever your endeavors, and there's like resistance that's come for the adversaries, right? But those are just opportunities for you to really shine through. Yeah, to really shine through. Be grateful that you can see through the impression that they're putting onto you, right? Because you can see clearly into yourself. You know yourself now so much that you're not afraid when people shoot their daggers at you, right? Like, even if they're like doing it covertly, right? Like, you're picking up on that, and you're realizing that a lot of things that you were being made to think and feel weren't what you were truly thinking and feeling, period. Grounding is going to be really important. Getting and meditation. I talk about meditation could be very useful at this point. Take a moment to connect to source through quiet, reflective meditation. Connect to the pulse of Mother Earth. She will guide you through this time of change. Gaia and meditation. Now I'm getting the song Earth Angel, Earth Angel. So maybe you resonate as someone who's an Earth Angel, which would totally make sense because the card Earth Guide, your sacred calling upon this planet is to simply love and be loved. Honey, it is okay for you to love just because you want to love and to be peace, right? We are in a very we're in a very like Mars dominated society, right? It's too far out of balance. There's not enough Venus. Love and war, right? How do you fight one with the other? Okay. So with the rose's kiss, a beautiful full bloom. Ladybugs could be significant for somebody here, or Betty Boop. Number 9. Oh, wow, and it opens right up to it. The rose's kiss. Oh, yeah, I gotta go. I told you guys, I could talk to you forever because I truly love the world. I love people. And I know that there are evil people here. I know, that's why I said that I used to have it in my thing. I heal the healers, the lost, and the forsaken, right? Because some people out there feel forsaken, right? But you're not. It is just your environment because you've forsaken yourself internally. You need to forgive whatever you need to forgive and accept that none of us is perfect. Perfection does not exist, okay? You can strive to be whatever is perfect for you, but it has to be something that makes you feel happy. It cannot be something that you've done for other reasons, right? It is time to let go. It is time to let go of the things that do not fulfill you. The rose's kiss, joy, experiencing pleasure, deep satisfaction and enjoyment, desires acknowledged, 5 sensory reality. And this, didn't I say that this is like full awareness, full awakening? Like this is knowing everything from like knowing what your favorite type of weather is, to knowing what your favorite way of having your coffee is, to what your favorite smells are, to how certain attitudes are reflected to you, you know, how they make you feel and stuff like that. This is knowing what you want around you and being okay with being a little thorny about it, you know, and rejecting what you don't want around you. I don't care if you've been doing, like, again, the being brought the, somebody here, you could be changing careers. You could be older in life and you could be miserable with what you do because you're not passionate about it. You could be a lawyer and you want to be a rock star. If you've always been called to that, start doing that. Spend your spare time doing things that you love, right? And getting out in the world and integrating that with whatever other aspects of your life that you can. And from there, you will find that balance. You may continue to be a lawyer and a musician on the weekends, right? Or maybe you blow up so freaking big out of nowhere that you were doing 2 things that you love doing because you did love law, but you're just a little tired of it and you really love music and it's always been a passion, but you've never been allowed to pursue it. Well, now you can. And you did. And bam, holy crap, you just blew up. You went viral. You went worldwide, whatever it may be. And so now you can leave this job, keep your license. Sure, cool. You can defend yourself. You know, it's actually good to know the law if you're going to be a musician. It's really good. Contractual stuff, right? Whatever the change is that's going to come in is, it's going to be a blessing. Great big love. This is like the universe meeting you halfway. This is like God's helping hand. You know that in the 90s, that poem, the Footprints poem, was really big, right? It was at the 80s. Anyways, it was really big. It talks about how, you know, you've walked the path of faith. You've tried to be hopeful, try to be positive, following that mindset of as within, so without, as above, so below. Whatever it is for you, whatever your motto in life is, right? Do no harm, but take no shit. Whatever it is, you've followed that path. You've been faithful to it. And in those times when you felt the weakest, at the end, it's like this is somebody who's like crossed over, right? And as they're looking back, they're seeing the two sets of footprints in the sand. Like, it's basically, the poem was saying that you didn't realize that God, Jesus, whatever you believe in, source, the universe, has been with you all along. You've never been alone. But in those moments where you were weak, there's one set of footprints. And the person in the poem asks Jesus, what happened here? Why is there only one set of footprints? And they're like, my child, don't you see? This is when I carried you. You could be questioning your faith. Your inner child needs you. Your inner child needs you. Yeah. Your inner child needs you. When you wish upon a star, love will find you where you are. Is that the lyric? I think. I don't know. But it ends with your dreams come true, right? And great big love. When you wish for a closer relationship with the divine, with God, that is waking the lion. You have to be prepared. Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it. A lot of stuff from your past is being reflected at you. That's what the land in between, that's what that land is. That land is the in between is like, let me show you. Where'd it go? There we go. The land in between, this is where the part in the Footprints poem where Jesus is carrying you, right? Like, you're being held by the Creator right now. You're being carried. And it is so that you can repose. Reposar is, I guess it's like taking a break. It's like taking you don't realize this, though. You don't realize that the strength that you're having right now to get through and do everything that you're doing and continue this while still fighting this battle within, the war within, that strength is coming from the divine, right? This is God. This is creation. This is the Alpha, the Omega, taking care of you, holding your energy strong, lending of its own energy, its own power, the power of source, the power of creation, lending you more of that power. I just got chills. Yeah. And on my legs, I got it on my legs, to help you stand firm, to ground in your truth, right? So you need a break. You need a break. You need a break, and you're going to be supported for this. Maybe you think people around you won't support you. Why do I keep going? Why do I keep reading? Because you're wishing for a change. You're wishing things were different. Every wish that you make is heard. A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. What have your dreams been as of late? Have you been dreaming of having a totally different life? Have you been dreaming of going on a vacation? Have you been dreaming of starting a family? Have you been dreaming of opening a business? Right? What have you been dreaming of? A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep. That's your inner child guiding you. Bursts of magic. Again, this one's been wanting to come out, so I'm going to read it and then we are done because this has been 2.5 hours and I got to go. But I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I don't care if I don't even know you. I don't care if you're across the world. I don't care if you're in Japan. I don't care if you live under the sea, on the moon. I don't care if you're from Pluto or some other planet like Earth, you know, galaxies away, and you're picking up on this frequency somehow. I don't care. I love you because I can feel your energy and we are all connected. We are all God's children and you deserve to be happy. So where's the burst of magic? Yeah, you're going to have a close encounter because it flipped to this page, the close encounters. I feel like you're going to have like random people coming up to you for the most random reasons. Things are going to happen. A lot of spooky things kept happening. I got that again. The Rose's Kiss, joy experiencing pleasure, deep satisfaction and enjoyment, desires acknowledged, 5 sensory reality. I read this earlier. Okay, so they want this to sink into you. 5 sensory reality, okay? Where you see your life like this. This is you see, hear, smell, taste, feel everything as it truly is, right? Like you are fully aware of what your reality truly is. Take a deep breath and center on the feeling of joy. Pleasure is part of life. Let yourself surrender to it today. For some of you, you could live some sort of alternative lifestyle and you've been afraid of expressing this to people. You are being asked to do what you've been getting called to do. Everything you want is on the other side of fear because fear is a liar, smoke and mirrors, right? It's all just an illusion. Our modern times often present a false ideal of how we are meant to experience the world. Connections are lost and distorted by our over-reliance on technology. I said, so didn't I talk about unplugging as well, leaving the phone behind or staying off social media, whatever it may be? Just look around and see how few people actually maintain eye contact or engage in conversation. Instead of tapping away at a screen, pause and consider how you can make more intimate contact. Connecting with nature, enjoying the sensual pleasures of, or just life period, honestly. And or being aware of the sensations of taste, touch, smell, sight, and sound may be important right now, okay? There's more than one way to feel pleasure in this life. You can feel pleasure playing a video game. You can feel pleasure watching your first little sproutling come up from seeds you planted. You can experience pleasure from performing your first surgery as a doctor, right? You can experience pleasure from, you know, your first day of class as a new teacher because that's what you're passionate about. Whatever it is for you, fully embrace feeling and allowing yourself to love what you love. The war within is almost over, okay? Oh, tender embrace. I felt called to this one. I said all earlier when I saw this one, but I didn't pull it. Elephants, in my other deck here, my Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, love her. The elephant card talks about overcoming any obstacle, right? If a log is in the way, an elephant will just go with its mighty trunk and just lift it like it's a twig and just off the trail, and then the whole herd keeps going through, right? And they're very supportive of one another. They're such gentle freaking giants, and I love it. They fiercely protect what they love, okay? It's okay. You've got a guide that is very nurturing. Look. Yeah, they want to shake things up for you. Do you see I flipped I mixed these up differently? They want to shake things up for you. Because they want to show you I'm getting how beautiful life can be. Into me I see. They want you to really take a look at yourself and really be gentle with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't think your ideas are stupid. Don't think you're ugly. Don't any negative, no stinking thinking. Sacred reverence, okay? Hold yourself sacred and keep the words that you say to yourself. The key to your heart, the key to you, to really learning you, is to take that tender, loving embrace, that guidance, and putting that effort into yourself. You deserve all of the love and effort and devotion that you have put into everything else and everyone else in your life. You deserve that put into you. And you should be doing that. You should be putting that energy into yourself. It's not selfish. It is beautiful because it will force you to look at some very deep, dark shadows, but it will also help you overcome them. If this resonated, give me a thumbs up. If you're new and you like the way I read and you don't mind longer readings sometimes, because sometimes they're 30 minutes, sometimes they're 2.5 hours like this one is, subscribe and then hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I do upload a new video, because I do not follow a schedule. I go with the energy, baby. It's how I read. It is what it is. Yeah. And also liking and commenting, subscribing, all that stuff, it really helps with the algorithm. And I really want to do live readings. I want to see your questions. I want to see your comments. I want to be able to, for the people who are actually like connecting at the time, I want to interact with you to really clarify in ways that are really gonna resonate with you. I don't know why I'm shuffling again, you guys. There's something here. What was that? A merry motive came back. Oh, what did this one say? I don't even remember. Know your own motives. Understand what drives you to meet your goals. The momentum that your attention creates. Energy goes where attention flows. So if you're thinking negative about yourself, you're going to create a whole bunch of things around you in your life that think negatively of you. Like maybe people talking trash about you. Maybe, I don't know. It's just going to come in all sorts of crazy ways into your life. But be grateful for however that does come, because it's just to provide you with clarity and truth, which is what my intentions always are with my readings. So if this helped in any way, shape, or form, then give me a thumbs up, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.